Hello, good afternoon, and sorry for the delay, but we just get started with our first online meetup. It has been a specific situation, I think, for everybody in the whole world. So we're trying now to get some more information to you developers out there through this digital online event. So today we will cover a bit the topics on how to deploy a Node.js application typically into a Cloud Foundry runtime environment. So in the description, also in the meetup, you should have found the link where you can get such an account, an IBM Cloud account for free. You don't need a credit card to register for that. So everything that will show here in the event is also something you can do for free. So you should not have any problem to follow along. So we'll get started right away. Let me share my screen. So let's first log in to our cloud environment. So when you go to the cloud.ibm.com and you have registered for an account, you can just log in. And then you get presented with a dashboard where you can find all your applications and services that are in there. Now, in order to get to the Cloud Foundry runtime environment and the documentation on how to deploy a Node.js application, you can just go to Docs. And then you can select the build. And in our case, we will select the Node.js as a runtime. And then you can start from there, just follow the tutorial, how to create a Node.js application, and then to deploy it, how to deploy it into the cloud. Of course, most of the things that you will show here will be using the command line tools for that. So here you can see that on a Mac, you can just issue the command to install the command line interface. And on Windows, it's also mentioned over there. But most of the steps we will show directly here in the demo. So I have already installed and downloaded the command line tools. So first of all, it will install an alias for IBM Cloud. You can find the help for that. It will install an alias IC for IBM Cloud, which covers everything for Cloud Foundry, also for Docker, for Kubernetes. Everything is sort of wrapped around this command line interface. And of course, you can do IBM Cloud, Cloud Foundry, and you can have the help for Cloud Foundry. Now, what I did additionally was also to use an alias for the Cloud Foundry. If you're familiar with Cloud Foundry, you should just type CF, which is an alias to the IBM Cloud CF command. So first of all, I need to log in to the environment. I just have my light account over here. And once I'm authenticated, I should see some more details about the environment. The Cloud Foundry is not already selected, so what I need to do is IBM Cloud. So now it just sets the correct environment for your Cloud Foundry. As I only have one organization here, that should help you to just collect the correct space as well as the organization. If you have multiple, you will get a pop-up window with a selection on which one to choose for that. Now, let's I have already created a small Node.js application. If you haven't done that already, you can just type npm init, and it will guide you just to create a basic package JSON file. We can have a look at the package JSON file for the Node.js. It's called a tiny app, and it uses server.js as the main JS application, and we also use the Express framework. So let's have a look at the application itself. It's a very basic application. We just use the Express framework. We use a port 3000 to run locally. and then we just say hello meetup once we get a response or a request to that port. So now I can just type in node server.js, and it's listening on that port. Now in another window I can just do a curl localhost. And you see that we get our hello meetup directly as a response. So we have a basic application that is running locally. Now there's the next step. We will just post it into the Cloud Foundry runtime. So as a next step, let's see, let's see oops. We have no applications into our environment, but we can just start to deploy that. Now all we need to do is do a cf push on JS, just give it a name. And now it's pushing that directly onto the IBM Cloud. Now, based on he's trying to select the correct build pack for it. What he's doing now is to try to determine what kind of environment is needed for that. As he detects there's a package JSON file, he figures that okay, this probably will be the Node.js build pack to run that. And I was waiting for the app to start. And we see that our app is in a state running, and it uses 1 gig of memory. So now if we run the command again, we see that our tiny Node.js is running, and we have this available on the URL. Now let's have a look at the dashboard. And we see our Cloud Foundry app is being deployed into the cloud environment. And here we see also the same parameters, number of instances, 1 GB. We can change that to modify this through this panel if we want to, but I'll show you directly through the command line how we can do that. Visit app URL will take you to, this is not the correct one. Probably took it from a previous deployment. Oh, okay. Yeah, it was still in the cache. So you see the hello meetup is now running in our cloud environment. Now something else you can do with the Node.js and the Cloud Foundry CLI is you can also install plugins. Just type in CF plugins. And you can see that I already have installed a plugin called Open. You can just install that using the command plugin open, but since it's already installed, I can just use it right away. And I can just use open the name of my application, which is tiny.js. And again, it opens another new window with the same results. Now we're taking default parameters to deploy that. And now what we can also do is to see if create a manifest on our application -p manifest.yaml. So this will take the environment from our application and save it into a manifest file. Let's have a look what's in this manifest file. You can see that it takes the same parameters, the route, as well as the memory. Now we can change the manifest file and make it, for example, (128). We can take 2 instances. And just deploy that same application again. And it will restage the application now with 128 megabytes of RAM instead of 1 gigabyte. And now it's trying to start the application again. And we have also 2 instances. Now if I look at the details of that application, you'll also see in the dashboard that this has changed. Two instances and 128 megabytes. So now let's have a look at the logs that we have from this runtime environment. You can just type in logs tiny.js. And this is a real-time logging, so as soon as we do a refresh on our page, we see a request coming in, the HTTP details coming in over here. Now, if you want to see what's from previous logging, what happened in the logs, you can just type in recent, and this will give you, as soon as the application started, the whole deployment. If something would have gone wrong, you would see that in the kind of logs. Of course, you can also see those details in these logs in the dashboard environment. Now something, of course, this is a standalone application. Most of the times you will be using an application that will probably need to talk to a database because this application runs, but if you start and stop it, there's no way to store something within this Cloud Foundry runtime container. So you'll probably need a database to connect to that. Now you can have a look at the Cloud Foundry marketplace. The screen sharing is gone, just a moment. There's something wrong here. Let's see if I can restart that. Okay, that's better. So, looking into the marketplace to find a database, you can just type in CF Marketplace, and you'll get a list of all the services that are part of this Cloud Foundry environment. The one I'm looking for is specifically a Cloud and database. And you will see some details here about the service itself of this Cloud and database. There's a free one. It's a light on the light plan, so if you have a light account, you can use that one. This is also the one we will provision here. And then we can just type in, see if we can create a service. SQL DB, and we pick the plan light and call it MyDB. So this one will provision the cloud and database into our cloud environment. We'll go back to the dashboard. So the create is in progress. It's not yet available, but we can just check the status. So the create is in progress. So you just have to wait until that one is created. And once this is done, we should be good to go. What we will do is create a connection between the Cloud Foundry runtime, an Node.js application in this case, and connect it to the Cloud database. Like we can also view this directly here in our dashboard. It takes a couple of minutes. Let's select all the database. And the create succeeded. So our database is now ready to use. And now we can create a bind from our application to our database. So that's a way to bind really the credentials from the database directly onto our application. And then we don't need to restage because we didn't make any changes to the application, but we can just restart the application. Now we will take those bindings from that database into the Node.js runtime that runs on Cloud Foundry. Again, we have two instances running. Now what you can also do is SSH into this application. And now we are in the one of the two containers and the client directly connected. Our application itself is in the app directory. That's where you can find everything that was in our directory, the server.js. And we can also have a look at the environment variables. For example, we can see that let's take a specific look at vcat update services. So you see that all the credentials, API keys from our application to our database are part of this environment. So we don't need to create any additional keys in there. It's all bound together so we can start using it. Of course, we're not going to demo a full application that makes use of that, but if you want more information on that, we have a video on our channel that explains how to run a sample Node.js application with the Cloud database. You can see also that our application from the process list, it's running our Node.js server. And from the environment variables, there should also be a port, the application port, where it's running internally. Cloud Foundry will make sure that you can access the application through port 80 and 443, the SSL port. So we can exit from there. Now, as a next step, which you will not find so many information on, but it is possible, is also that you can deploy not only just a Node.js application, but a lot of people use Docker containers today. So what I have prepared is I have a Docker file. If you're familiar with Docker, that should be quite familiar to you. I'm using the node runtime. My work directory is /app. I copy the package JSON file. So including my server.js, everything is in there. I run an npm install, and then the command line to start the application, and we expose port 8080. So what we can do, let's see if I can. I can run a Docker build now. Call it time. So I was looking at the local Docker file, and he's building the Docker container for that. And it should be visible in our images. 7 seconds ago, so we have a container image loaded here directly. Now I can run this one. So we started up. You can see the process. You can see my tiny app is running. Now I can do the curl command on port. And it doesn't work. Check. We can also have a look into the Docker container itself. Maybe there's already a process running on my part. Pick the container ID. So now we're in the container. Our application is running. Not sure if I have a mistake in there. Yeah. I'm not sure why I get this. Let me get a local response. If I can increase the rate. Hopefully that's better. That should be listening. No, anyway, that doesn't really matter a lot. What I want to show you is that once you have this container, we have the image locally, but now we want to store it somewhere so Cloud Foundry can pick it up. We need to put it in some sort of registry. Of course, you could push it out to a Docker Hub. You can just create an account on there. And then, of course, your images are publicly available. You might not always want to do that. And in our case, we'll just use the registry that is part of the IBM Cloud. You can find this registry under the Kubernetes tab. And there you will see the registry. Of course, from here you can create your clusters, your Kubernetes clusters, and start working with Docker and Kubernetes. But I don't think that will be possible with your light account. What you can use is the registry, which is a secure registry, a private one. And here are some of the commands explained here for a quick start, how to install a plugin, like I showed you. The plugins for the IBM Cloud. You need to install this one for the container registry. And all the steps are explained here. In order to have your registry and your images into the cloud. So first we need to, again, IBM Cloud Container Registry login. As we are already logged in into the cloud environment, we can just log in to this container registry. Now I'm connected to the one in Germany. So you can choose that one from your repositories, namespaces, or in your location here. You can just select the one in Germany. Now I have my Docker image locally. Maybe just remove that one so you can see what's happening. So I have an empty repository with just a namespace in there. And then what I need to do is tag our image. Just remove the other one. So I have my tiny image from here, and now I can just create a tag on it. And it should be again the reference to our repository, the one in Germany, as you can see that I was logged on. With my namespace, and we'll create it in a repo. So now I just tagged the image locally. You can see that has changed. And now I can just push it out to my registry into the cloud. Just remove the other one. They're probably referencing to each other, but it's not a problem. Let's just push that one. So now we'll push it directly onto the cloud, and when we do a refresh in our registry, we can see that the image is over there. You also see a status of scanning. That means that that's one of the advantages of having this registry of IBM in the cloud, is that there's a vulnerability scanning tool running on your images. So I'm going to go and have a look at this image. So it's scanning currently. It should take just a couple of seconds. Yeah. And we can see that, well, there's some minor configuration issues, some settings in MySQL that is mentioned over there, but it says, okay, it's safe to deploy. So within our cloud environment, you could also make that in your DevOps pipeline tool. Maybe you want to prevent to deploy unsafe images, but in our case, it's safe to deploy this one. And of course, I cannot just deploy that straight away. What I need is also a key to this private registry, same as we do with Docker Hub. You need your username and password in order to be able to take something from that repository, because once we push our Cloud Foundry runtime with a Docker container, it's the cloud that will fetch this container, so it needs access to that registry. For that, we will create we can first have a look at our images through the command line. And we see that our image is the same as mentioned over here. We have two issues, but that's fine. What we need to do is to create an identity and access management key. So we can just have a look on our API keys. I have already some keys available in there, but I will show you the process on how to create a new one. So you can create API key. Create. Create my key. Give it a description. This is my API key. And we will also store it into a file, because we'll generate the API credentials and store it in a key file. So the key is created. I should see it now within the API keys. And here's my key. Then if we look into the file, we also created a key file. And in this key file, we can see that the API key is over here. We just copy that one. Now to the command, and before we can push our Cloud Foundry with a Docker container, we need to export the Cloud Foundry Docker password. We just specify the key for that. And now we can do the same as we did with the Cloud Foundry deployment. We can just push the ICCF, we can just do CF, push, make sure the name that you're specifying is unique, because it will create a route into the cloud. We need to specify our image. This is the image that we have stored into our cloud environment. And then we specify as a user, take a username. You can just specify that we will use an API key. So that will take, have a look at your key and then use that to push it to the cloud. So it takes the defaults from the manifest file. And now we created a container onto Cloud Foundry using this, the image that we have stored over there. And then going back to our dashboard, we should see a new Cloud Foundry app being deployed. And it's still this one that is deployed on the tiny app. You can also see that the first instance is still starting, but it is started now. It uses the same URL, but it should be fine. And again, we have our same application that is being deployed now, but it's using a Docker container as a runtime. So this was just a demonstration on how you can deploy a basic Node.js application using the standard Cloud Foundry push commands, but also going a bit further, now packaging this application into a Docker container and doing that same deployment, but then through a Docker container using a private registry. So I don't know if there's any additional questions. I'll have a look. This concludes mainly this first online meetup. I hope you enjoyed it. If you still have questions, feel free to contact us. You have our email addresses over there, or you can put your comments in on the video down below. And hope to see you on the next session. So thank you for listening, and see you on the next one.